Hello guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial video, we'll be solving over 10 most repeated post-UTME questions by Nigerian universities. Today, the first question we have on the board on physics says a body of mass 5 kg moves in a circular path of radius 2 meters with a uniform speed of 4 meters per second. What is the centripetal force acting on the body? Given option A 10 newtons, option B we have 20 newtons, option C we have 40 newtons, and D we have 80 newtons. Now from the question, it says a body of mass 5 kg. So they gave us mass to be what? Mass denoted with letter M is equal to 5 kilogram. It says it moves in a circular path of radius 2 meters. So they gave us what? The next thing is what? Radius. They gave us radius denoted with letter R to be equal to 2 meters with a uniform speed of 4 meters per second. They gave us uniform speed. Uniform speed is denoted with letter V. Uniform speed is equal to 4 meters per second. They say what is the centripetal force acting on the body? So centripetal force denoted with F subscript C is unknown. We don't know it. We have these parameters. They say we should find the centripetal force. But we know that centripetal force is equal to Fc is equal to mv squared over r. Centripetal force is equal to mv squared over r, where m is the mass, v is the uniform speed, and r is the radius. If we substitute the values here, our given parameters into this equation, we're going to have m for mass, we have 5 kg times the uniform speed v, we have 4 meters per second. Don't forget, they say all squared divided by the radius r, which is 2 meters. Here we have 5 times 4 raised to power 2 divided by 2. 4 raised to power 2 is the same thing as 4 multiplying itself 2 times. We have 5 times 4 raised to power 2, which is 5 times 4 raised to power 2 is 4 multiplying itself. We have 16 divided by 2. 5 times 16 will give us 80 divided by 2. 80 divided by 2 will give us 40. Therefore, the centripetal force denoted with Fc is equal to what? 40 newtons. Don't forget, the SI unit for force is newtons. Now when we come to our options here, we have 10, 20, 40, and 80. The correct option is option C, 40 newtons. Question 2 says, 2 resistors, 4 ohms and 6 ohms, are connected in parallel. What is the equivalent resistance? 2 resistors, 4 ohms and 6 ohms, are connected in parallel. What is the equivalent resistance? Option A says 2.4 ohms, B says 3.2 ohms, option C says 5.0 ohms, and option D says 10.0 ohms. From the question, we are given two resistors, the first and the second resistors. The first resistor, R1, is equal to 4 ohms. The second resistor we have here, R2, is equal to what? 6 ohms. They say what is the parallel resistance? That is, the equivalent resistance R is unknown. But recall that for parallel connection, we have 1 over R is equal to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3 to infinity 1 over Rn. For this question, we have just two resistors, which is the first and the second resistors. So to find the effective or equivalent resistance, what we need to do is we use the formula 1 over R is equal to 1 over. Instead of writing R1, we put the value for the first resistor, which is 4, plus 1 over R2. R2 is what? 6. We don't have R3 and so on and so forth. So we stop here. We simplify this. This is a fraction. When two fractions are adding themselves, when you are asked to sum two fractions up, what you need to do is to find the LCM of these two values. The LCM of 4 and 6 is 12. LCM of 4 and 6 is 12. We have 1 over R is equal to 1 over is equal to the LCM, which is 12. 12 divided by 4, you have 3. 3 times 1, you have 3. Plus 12 divided by 6, you have 2. 2 times 1, you have 2. This will give us 3 plus 2, you have 5 over 12. We have 1 over R is equal to 5 over 12. Now remember, we are looking for R and not 1 over R. We are looking for the equivalent resistance, R. So for R to stand alone, we switch this. We take this up and we bring this down. We do the same thing here. We have R over 1 is equal to 12 over 5. R over 1 is the same thing as R. Anything divided by 1 is that same thing. So we have R equal 12 divided by 5. You have what? 2.4 ohms. Don't forget, resistors are measured in ohms. So this is our final answer. Now let's check if we are correct. Option A says what? 2.4 volt ohms. Option B, 3.2 ohms. Option C, 5.0 ohms. And option D, 10.0 ohms. The correct answer we have here is option A, 2.4 ohms. Question 3 says, a bullet of mass 0.03 kg moving at 300 meters per second embeds into a wooden block of mass 2.0 kg initially at rest. What are their common velocity after impact? A bullet of mass 0.03 kg moving at 300 meters per second embeds into a wooden block of mass 2.0 kg initially at rest. What are their common velocity after impact? Option A says 6.25 meters per second, B 7.14 meters per second, C 5.56 meters per second, and D 8.33 meters per second. We are going to use the law of conservation of momentum, where we have m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 plus m2 raised all into v. This is the formula. This is using conservation of momentum. From the question, we are given the bullet of mass, which is M1. M1 is given at 0.03 kg. The second mass we have here, they say moving at a velocity of this, at the speed of this. Now we have initial velocity, U1, is equal to what? 300 meters per second. They embed into a wooden block of mass. We have M2, the second mass. M2 is equal to what? 2.0 kg. Initially at rest, what are their common velocities after impact? So V, we don't know V. Now if you observe from the question, it was the bullet was moving at a velocity of 300 meters per second, initial velocity. We don't know the final velocity, which is this. So U2 is equal to 0. Now substitute this into this equation. We have M1 U1. Our M1 is what? 0.03 kg times our U1 is 300 meters per second plus our M2 is what? 2 kg times our U2 is 0 is equal to M1 plus M2. Our M1 is what? What do we have there as our M1? Our M1 is 0.03 plus our M2 is what? 2 kg into V. 03 times 300 will give us 9 plus 2 times 0 will give us what? 0. Anything multiplied by 0 we have 0. 0.03 plus 2 will give us 2.03. Don't forget V is attached. V is multiplying everything in this bracket, so times V. 9 plus 0 will give us what? 9 is equal to 2.03 V. If we rearrange this thing, this is the same thing as 2.03 V is equal to 9. Let's make velocity the subject of formula. We divide both sides by the coefficient of velocity, which is 2.03. If we divide this side by also 2.03, this will cancel this. 9 divided by 2.03 will have V to be 4.433 meters per second. Velocity is measured in meters per second. So this is the final answer. Now let's come to this option here. Option A says 4.433 meters per second. Question 4 says, which of the following statements about wave motion is correct? Which of the following statements about wave motion is correct? A. In longitudinal waves, particle displacement is perpendicular to wave propagation. B. Transverse waves can propagate through gases. C. Light waves are longitudinal waves. D. Sound waves are longitudinal mechanical waves. The correct answer is option D. Sound waves are longitudinal mechanical waves. Let's explain. What are longitudinal mechanical waves? So what are longitudinal waves? they have particle displacement parallel to the wave direction. They have particle displacement parallel to wave direction. Also note that sound is both a mechanical and longitudinal wave. Light is an electromagnetic transverse wave, not longitudinal. And we also have that transverse waves cannot travel through gases. Transverse waves cannot travel through gases. The correct answer is D. Sound waves are longitudinal mechanical waves. Question 5 says, the half-life of a radioactive element is 10 days. What fraction of the original nuclei will remain after 30 days? The half-life of a radioactive element is 10 days. What fraction of the original nuclei will remain after 30 days? Option A says 1/2. Option B says 1/4. Option C 1/8. Option D 1/16. Now let's solve. The half-life of a radioactive element is 10 days. It means the half-life of the element after 10 days reduces by half. The half-life, which is 10 days, reduces by half. That is 1/2. It means after every 10 years, the element will reduce by half. After every 10 days, the element will reduce by half. So for the first 10 days, we have, for 10 days, the element reduced by what? Half. After another 10 days, which is 10 plus 10, giving you 20 days. On day 20, the element will reduce by this initial half times, it's going to drop again. It's going to reduce again by half. This will give us 1 times 1 will give us what? 1. 2 times 2 will give us 4. So by the 20th day, it will reduce by 1/4. On the 30th day, day 30, this element will reduce by, the 20 has what? 1/4 times, don't forget, after every 10 days, it reduces by half. So it's going to reduce by half. 1 times 1 will give us 1. 4 times 2 will give us 8. We say therefore, the fraction of the original nuclei that will remain after 30 days is 1/8. Therefore, our final answer is what? Option C, with 1/8. Question 6 says, a copper wire of length 2 meters is stretched by a force of 50 newtons. If the cross-sectional area is 1 times 10⁻⁻6 meters squared, and Young modulus for copper is 1.1 times 10⁻11 Newton per meter squared. Find the extension in the wire. Find the extension in the wire. They give us option A to be 0.0091 meters, option B to be 0.0182 meters, C to be 0.00273 meters, and D to be 0.00364 meters. Now let's solve this together. Let's say a copper wire of length. They give us the length of the wire, given parameters. Length denoted with L. Length was given as what? 2 meters. They say it's stretched by a force of 50 newtons. So they give us force denoted with letter F to be 50 newtons. If the cross-sectional area, they give us cross-sectional area, which is A, to be 1 times 10 raised to power minus 6 meter squared. And Young modulus, they give us Young modulus denoted with letter E to be equal to what? 1.1 times 10 raised to power minus 11, sorry, not minus, 11 Newton per meter squared. We find the extension of the wire. Find the extension of the wire. So extension denoted with change in L is equal to unknown. Now from these parameters, the formula for extension, that is change in length, is given as change in length is equal to FL over AE, where F is the force, L is the length, A is the cross-sectional area, and E is the Young modulus of the material. Here we have change in length, that is the extension, to be FL. The value for F is what? 50 times the value for L is what? 2, all divided by our A. The cross-sectional area we have is 1 times 10 raised to power minus 6 times our E, which is Young modulus, which is 1.1 times 10 raised to power 11. 50 times 2 will give us 100. 100 divided by this. From laws of indices, when two numbers with the same base multiply themselves, we pick one of the base and add the powers together. So here we have this, we pick this and this, which is 1 times 1.1 into, they have the same base. This is base 10, base 10. So you pick 1 and you add the power. You have minus 6 plus 11. This is 100 over 1 times 1.1 is give us what? 1.1 times 10 raised to power minus 6 plus 11. Minus 6 plus 11 will give us what? Minus 5. So we have 10 raised to power 5. 100 divided by 1.1 times 10 raised to power 5 will give us 0.0000909 meters. Don't forget, extension is measured in meters. If you approximate this, you have 0.00091 meters. So this is our final answer. If we come to the options here, we have option A to be the correct option. So option A here is the correct answer. Question 7. Question 7 says a transformer has 100 turns on the primary coil and 500 turns on the secondary coil. If the primary voltage is 240 volts, what is the secondary voltage? Option A says 48 volts. Option B says 1200 volts. Option C says 960 volts, and option D says 115 volts. Now to solve this equation, let's recall or let's solve this equation using the transformer equation. Using transformer equation, we have Vs over Vp is equal to Ns over Np, where Vs is the secondary voltage, Vp is the primary voltage, N subscript S is the number of secondary turns, Np is the number of primary turns in the coil. So from this question, we are given a transformer has 100 turns on the primary coil. So we have for primary coil Np 100 and 500 turns on the secondary coil. So secondary coil Ns is equal to 500. You say if the primary voltage is 240 volts, the primary voltage Vp is equal to 240 volts. What is the secondary voltage? So we don't know Vs or known. Substituting these values into this transformer equation, we have Vs over Vp. Instead of writing Vp, we attach the value of Vp, which is 240, is equal to our Ns over Np. Ns here is what? 500 divided by Np, which is 100. 500 divided by 100 will give you what? 5. You have Vs over 240. To make Vs the Centripetal formula, what you need to do, you need to cross multiply. This will multiply this. We have this is over 1. This, and this. Now 240 times 5 will give us Vs is equal to 240 times 5, which will give us 1200 volts. Therefore, the secondary voltage is 240 volts. Sorry, this is the primary voltage. Is what the answer here? 1200 volts. When we come to these options here, we have option A, B, C, and D. The correct option is option B, with what? 1200 volts. Question 8 says, which of the following quantities has the same unit as energy? Which of the following quantities has the same unit as energy? A says power, B momentum, C work, and D pressure. The first question we need to ask ourselves is, what is the unit of energy? Energy here, energy is measured in joules. Energy is measured in joules. The next we need to ask ourselves is power. What is power measured in? Power is measured in watts. Power is measured in watts. Joules per second. We have momentum here. What is momentum measured in? Momentum the unit for momentum is kilogram meter per second. Kilogram meter per second. For work here is what? Work is measured in joules. Pressure now. Pressure is measured in Pascal. That is Newton per meter squared. Now the question says, which of the following quantities has the same unit as energy? Don't forget, energy has the unit, the SI unit as joules. Among these quantities here, the next quantity that has the same unit as energy is work. Work is also measured in joules. Therefore, the quantity that has the same unit as energy here is what? Work. Therefore, our final answer here is what? Work. Option C, work. Question 9 says, what is the escape velocity from the surface of a planet with mass m to be 6 times 10 raised to the power 24 kg and radius r to be 6.4 times 10 raised to the power 6 meters? They gave us their answers here. You see which of them is correct among these options. What is the escape velocity from the surface of a planet with mass 6 times 10 raised to the power 24 kg and radius 6.4 times 10 raised to the power 6 meters? The first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what is escape velocity? Escape velocity is the minimum energy or the minimum velocity required for a body to overcome the gravitational pull of Earth. It is the minimum energy or minimum velocity required for a body to escape the Earth's gravitational pull or gravitational force. Now, mathematically, it is given as V escape is equal to square root of 2 gm all over r. From the question, we are given what? Mass, which is m, to be what? 6 times 10 raised to the power 24 kg. We are also given what? R to be 6.4 times 10 raised to the power 6 meters. Now G stands for the Earth's gravitational constant, and it is given by the value 6.67 times 10 raised to the power minus 11. Now this is for the Earth's gravitational constant. Now substituting these values into this equation, we have V escape is equal to the root of 2 gm, that is 2 times, the value for G is what? 6.67 times 10 raised to the power minus 11 times gm. Our m is what? 6 times 10 raised to the power 24, all divided by our r, which is 6.4 times 10 raised to the power 6. 2 times 6.67 times 10 raised to the power minus 11 times 6 times 10 raised to the power 24 will give us, if you put it correctly, it will give us 8.004 times 10 raised to the power 14 divided by what? Our denominator, 6.4 times 10 raised to the power 6. Don't forget, this is for our what? Our escape velocity. This divided by this will give us what? It will give us 1.25 times 10 raised to the power 8. Take the square root of this value. You have 1.1183 times 10 raised to the power 4. If you approximate this value, you have 1.12 This one changes to 1, you add it here, becomes 2 times 10 raised to power 4. Don't forget, this is what escape velocity, the unit is in meters per second. Therefore, the escape velocity is 1.12 times 10 raised to power 4 meters per second. And the correct option here is option A, 1.12 times 10 raised to power 4 meters per second. So this is the correct answer. Question 10 says, an object is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 30 meters per second. How high does it go before coming to rest? Option A says 45 meters. B says 60 meters. Option C, 90 meters. And option D, 100 meters. An object is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 30 meters per second. How high does it go before coming to rest? Now, from the question, they give us what? An object is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 30 meters per second. So this is our initial velocity. U is equal to what? 30 meters per second. They gave us initial velocity to be what? 30 meters per second. They're asking us how high does it go before coming to rest. So the H, high, is unknown. Don't forget, at maximum height, final velocity is equal to 0. At maximum height, final velocity V is equal to 0. Now recall the formula. V square is equal to U square minus 2GH. V square here, from this assumption, V is equal to 0 because at maximum height, final velocity is equal to 0. So we have 0 squared is equal to, our U here is what? 30. 30 squared minus 2 into, what is G? G is acceleration to gravity, and it is giving us what? 10. H here, we don't know H. H stands for our height. Now this is the same thing as 0 is equal to 30 squared will give us what? 900. That's 900 minus 2 times 10 will give us what? 20. And this is H. If we make 20H the Centripetal formula, we're going to have, this will cross to this other side. We have 20H is equal to 900. To get the value of H, we say H is equal to what? 900 divided by 20. 900 divided by 20, we have what? We have 45. Therefore, the height is 45 meters. So the correct option here is what? Option A is 45 meters.